I'm irritated. I woke up and now my EBT cannot purchase me no soda, no candy, no chip, no ice cream, no dessert, no nothing. And this not even really about me because I'm fortunate enough that if push comes to shove, I don't have to use that EBT. It's not even in my name. It's not my EBT part. I don't make enough that I can afford my groceries, but I make enough that if I gotta eat, then I can eat. But I'm thinking about people who don't even live within 5 miles of a grocery store. People who go and do their grocery shopping at the corner store because that's what's closest to them. And there's nothing for another 10, 15, 20 miles. And nobody has a car. Everybody has to take the bus. So you can only go to where the bus takes you.
Hold on. Wait. It's a lot to unpack here before we even get started really that much into the video. What is she talking about? Most of the people where she lived, even in the inner city, the closest grocery store is not 20 miles away, number one. Number two, you just sat there and said that you didn't even need it. So if you don't need it, then why you still own it and why you still using it? And this is one of the reasons why the Trump administration started pushing people off of food stamps or requiring for them to do a certain amount in order to get it, because a lot of people are truly taking advantage of the system. Let's continue.
And heaven forbid if you're disabled and cannot get there, and you don't have a caregiver or the necessities that you need to be able to make shit shake. No EBT. Like, and I understand, like, okay, you can still buy your necessities, you can still buy your little pasta and your bread and your meat. But what about diabetics? What about the people who need the shit? Like, I don't understand. What's gonna? I don't understand why the baby can't have no chips. Why the baby can't have no...
I'm just floored right now at the level of ghetto-ness, and they all look the same. It's a septum ring theory. It's the nose ring theory. It's the
bonnet
hood booger bonnet theory. It's the I'm gonna make a video in my nightgown theory. You don't even have to try no more. They write the jokes themselves. They see exactly how they look when they jump on this device and they start having this conversation, and they still choose to still do this. Yet these are the people that we have to take care of with our tax dollars. Think about that. You go to work, you grind, you hustle, and the first 25 to 50% of whatever it is that you make, it goes straight to these people.
Insane.
And I'm not just talking about black people, white people, all of that, because the majority of the people that are on food stamps, even though it's a smaller percentage of their demographic, the majority of people, because they are the majority of the population, is white people also. So this is not absolving them either. I've done videos about white people and all of this other type of stuff.
Yeah, but that right there is a perfect example of why these changes are happening. She even admits she doesn't need EBT, yet still uses it. That's just insane, man. Definitely fit the profile. Yet somehow we're supposed to feel bad because she can't buy Ben and Jerry's with taxpayer money. Insane. This is what happens when entitlement turns into performance art. Now, listen to what this woman falsely claims.
So nobody was going to tell me that there's a nationwide pause on food stamps. I went to go get a sub because I'm like, hey, they hit today. Oh, sorry, decline. I'm calling the number. They say I got the money. Oh, it's decline. I went to another store. I see this lady. She's using her food stamps. Decline. I'm like, oh, so it's not just me. Pulled up on TikTok saying there's a nationwide pause. Why wouldn't they put it on the app? I checked the app. They didn't tell people that there was a pause. They didn't say anything. And then now I hear that you can't buy candy, ice cream, or soda. So if I wanted some Ben & Jerry's, I can't get that either. How? Like, how? Why? My question is why? So nobody was gonna...
Why? I mean, first off, there was no nationwide pause. That's a flat out lie. Second, if the program is meant to help you survive, why is soda, candy, or ice cream treated like essential groceries? These bans, they keep trying to make it seem like this is just random. These bans aren't random. They're getting off, they're about getting off junk, I can't even get myself together. They are about getting junk off the list so people can actually eat healthier. And here's where it gets even crazier, because the ban wasn't even originally Trump's idea, was it?
Now, baby, do you understand me? Because they done just put us on a goddamn gonna die. Ever since Trump done been in that office, all he been doing is pimping that pen. That's it. I'm so tired of him. He didn't put that goddamn pen down.
All right, so what's crazy about all of this she's saying is that it was really RFK Jr.
Boom.
that started this whole thing to get sodas and candies and unhealthy things.
Mind you, he was running as a Democrat and then joined Trump.
Unhealthy things. Of course, Trump had to approve it. But for her to blame it on Trump just shows how ignorant this whole thing is.
Baby, you need to understand, we got kids. And kids like to eat snacks.
Now, for her to say that we got kids and kids like to eat snacks, who's the real parent, though? Is the kids the parent or you're the parent? So for her to be this upset that RFK Jr. gave Donald Trump, our president, the paperwork for him to sign off on to get unhealthy food out of stores that your kids shouldn't be eating, like candy or drinking soda full of sugar and calories. Why is she so upset about that? I don't understand.
Me either.
I really don't. It's and see, this is black on black crime, man. Say whatever you want. Call me Uncle Tom. This is really ignorant. And that's just a fact.
Big
First
facts.
off, I support Donald Trump and I support Maha as well. But I would support her if she had her facts correct. Have a good night.
Meaning he only supports the truth. He only supports the facts. I can respect that. Yep, it was RFK Jr., though, who brought it forward. People continue to blur that line. Trump just signed it. And now somehow it's oppression to tell people that their kids shouldn't drink a liter of sugar every single day. And I love how he brought up the who's the parent perspective. Because seriously, in my household, I'm sort of like Sadiq Ali. I raise my kids how my parents raised me. Hey, here's the food. Eat or don't. He did say another D word. Obviously, you learn what your kids eat, what they don't eat over time, but that's just the gist of it. If the kids are the ones calling the shots, you aren't the parent anymore. You're just a chauffeur to diabetes. Yeah, man. Let's be real. For a lot of people, this outrage probably has nothing to do. I mean, absolutely nothing to do with snacks.
So as quiet as it's kept, and I know y'all won't admit this because I know how y'all are, but y'all aren't really outraged that the food stamps, the EBT shit is about to get shut down. Y'all are really outraged because now you're going to have to take the money you normally buy weed, wigs, bundles, get your nails done. Y'all are going to have to take those funds and buy food now. And don't say I'm lying, because when y'all were receiving food stamps, you were selling the food stamps. So you weren't worried about feeding your children then. But all of a sudden now, you're outraged. Oh my God, like, why we gonna feed our kids the same way you been feeding them?
Come on now.
Get a few funds from him. Keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't been worried about them kids and their well-being, but all of a sudden now, you are. Okay.
Man.
All right.
Get this woman a medal. Yes, I'm for to read some comments. Whoever sells them should be prosecuted and should never receive another cent. Agreed. This is such a harmful stereotype, though. Yeah, food stamps fraud exists, but it's actually pretty rare. Like less than 1% of benefits according to the USDA data. Most people use the SNAP or working families. Okay. I don't feel like finishing that one off. I see where it was going. But there it is. The real reason some folks are mad. EBT, has been flipped for wigs. It's been flipped to get the nails done. It's been flipped for your habits. You name it. The junk food ban is more like the first domino effect. Not first domino effect, first domino. Look at me. I'm just everywhere today, y'all. Forgive me. But if the hustle gets louder, the outrage, that obviously gets louder. And speaking of calling out the hustle, this next clip is pure fire. But because he's a Caucasian man, I don't want to hear what you got to say. Shut up.
I'm so sick and fucking tired of hearing about privilege. Privilege isn't being white, bonehead. Privilege is living in government housing and calling people oppressors while they pay your fucking bills. Get it? I'm done pretending that any of this bullshit makes sense. You want to talk about privilege? You want to talk about real privilege? Real privilege is wearing $200 sneakers when you haven't worked a day in your life. Privilege is walking around with $300 Beats headphones while you're living on fucking food stamps, while you're on public assistance, and it's paid for by people who wake up and grind every day. Privilege is having the latest smartphone with unlimited data and having zero idea where the bill goes because somebody else is always picking up the tab. Privilege is being able to protest every little thing that offends you without worrying about calling in sick to work because you don't have a fucking job. Privilege is being able to cheat, lie, fail over and over again in life and still get bailed out while people who play by the rules get punished. That's privilege. This isn't about race. This isn't about class. This is about accountability. We've got a culture that rewards victimhood and demonizes work ethic and responsibility. Meanwhile, the people holding everything together for the rest of society, they get taxed into the fucking ground. Their businesses get choked by regulation, and they get personally vilified for speaking up and saying that this is bullshit. You want to talk about privilege? Then start with the people who've never paid the price, but who also scream the loudest. Because they've never had to build anything. They've never had to defend anything. They've never had to carry any real weight. And the reason they get away with it? It's because we don't live in a society of strong men anymore. No. That's been dismantled on purpose over the last 50 years. Because a society of strong men would never put up with any of this bullshit. And that's exactly why they came after us first.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Privilege isn't skin color. It's living off the system while calling the people who funded oppressors. Now, real privilege is having the latest phone. Like he said, $200 sneakers. Free food. A lot of working class get taxed into the ground to keep going. And if you think that sounds harsh, wait until you hear this very last one, y'all.
Thinking that you was supposed to, I grew up thinking that you was supposed to spend food stamps. I'm supposed to get food stamps. Come to find out, no, you not. You ain't supposed to get no food stamps. You supposed to not get food. The goal is to not get food stamps. And by all means, I'm not docking nobody who get food stamps. I want some food stamps. I'll be the first. People who don't get food stamps want food stamps. Okay, but the ideology to think that you are entitled to these things and they're supposed to do this for you is completely wrong. You're seriously misguided. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the normal, that is not what goes on in the normal world. In the normal world, the real world, where people actually work for what they have, that's not what's going on. Okay, so when I say that women lack accountability when it comes down to having multiple children, and then you use the "I'm doing the best I can" saying to justify your behavior, no,
come on.
Because if you're doing the best that you can, you would stop. You would look and.
Amen. You know, this is the uncomfortable truth. Somewhere along the line, people started believing food stamps were a birthright instead of a last resort. The goal should be to get off the system, not build your life around staying on it. I'm just saying. Banning junk food on food stamps isn't oppression, okay? It's common sense if you ask me. The meltdowns we're seeing, that's what happens when dependency, gets challenged. But I want to know y'all thoughts, so drop them below. Should more states join the ban, or, this is a government overreach? Yeah, I chuckled at that one. But if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe and join the Forex Club just by literally watching the video, catching it, all 4 uploads every day, leaving a comment, sharing it if it's on your heart. Speaking of Forex, I got my shout outs right here. Lori Webb, shout out to Chrissy Francis 8952, Cindy Rose 3390. How you say this? Julie. See, come on, Julie, you go, man. I was getting everybody's name right. Julie's Kaz, okay, or Julie K. Ass. It could be. Anywho, last but not least, I married a brick FS Taco. Look, y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You could be saving their life.